Hello, this is a Grotrian Steinweg baby grand piano, 160 centimetres long, that's 5 foot 3 inches, and it's been fully restored. Just having a look to see if there's any extra work that we need to do, and also appreciating the piano. Well, the outside is perfect, it's been repolished and as a modern polyester, like a modern piano, and the key tops are ivory. They're almost perfect, in fact they are perfect ivory, very slightly yellowed. I think there may have been one here that's come off and been stuck back on at some stage, but apart from that they're perfect, and 88 keys. So Grotrian Steinweg's a very respected make indeed, so we're very grateful when we get one in. Now, as usual, the acoustic part's been fully restored with a new rest plank and delignate rest plank. You can tell delignate rest planks normally if we go underneath it. Delignate rest planks have a kind of mottled effect, so so the colour underneath them tends to look like that. I think it might be because they're multi-layered, and maybe they shave it down so that one of the layers is showing differently from the others, but delignate rest planks generally look like that. So obviously it's got brand new pins which are as tight as a new piano. It's like a new piano really. The soundboard's been shimmed, the soundboard's as perfect as a new piano would be, and really everything except that I believe it's nicer sounding than a new piano, being made by Grotrian Steinweg and to a very high standard. By nicer sounding I mean that the 1930s small grand pianos were really the best ones. That's when there was huge competition for making small pianos in those days, and there is today, but the people in the trade, there was more people in the trade who really understood pianos in those days. At least that's my belief, and I think if you're a tuner you might agree with me, so please let me know by commenting underneath. Such a beautiful tone, that's the main thing, it's the tone. The touch obviously on a new piano can be equally good, and we have to refine the touch on the old ones, but if you listen, I'll compare it with other pianos in a minute. For a small piano, that's a very lush bass. Now when I say it was fully restored, we didn't actually change the hammer shanks and rollers like we would normally do, because the rollers hardly had any wear on them. You can see the shape of them is like they were brand new, and the hammers also had extremely little wear, so we have refaced them, and we're now going to voice them so they're identical to each other as much as we can. And the hinges here are tight, so we don't need to replace hammer shanks and rollers unusually. Normally we would have to if the piano is worn, but it's not been used a lot, this piano, I think. Now the key stop rail's been removed, as you may have noticed, and that's because we were still working on the keys. So they're more or less refined now. We've lubricated with dry lubricant here, which we always do, and made sure they're all nice and smooth. So this rail here is to stop the keys falling out when the piano's moved. It doesn't really perform any other function in terms of when you play the piano. So we have worked on this piano before this worksheet was made, which was today, just seeing what else needs to be done, and all the work here has been done really refacing. The voicing of the hammers needs doing now, and weighing the keys. They're not the same as each other. They're actually, now that we've lubricated, they've become a bit lighter, and we need to reweight them so they're accurate. 49 is fine. 49, that would be what we'd want it to be. Between 47 and 52 really is fine, so that would be normal weight. Some pianos, some modern pianos, new pianos, have a higher weight than this. It could be about 56 grams on the Kauai, for instance, and that to me is a little bit on the heavy side. So this is 49 grams on middle C, and it just goes down nice and smoothly. Some people would weigh it, perhaps taking this one off and then just give it a little tap underneath to make it go down. If you are used to weighing keys, I'm interested to know what you do. I think probably that is 48 rather than 49. This is a brand new Feurich 179, and you can see the weighting here, very, very even. So that's the weighting we prefer really, is weighting between, well, 52, if we look at middle C here, I've got 52 grams weight here, and just let it go, and it's dropping down beautifully. This could be 51 grams possibly. I think that probably is more like 51. Well, we're doing it plus or minus 2 grams, so obviously that you can be as fussy as we can try and be as fussy as possible. And Feurich here, I've managed to get 52 there, 53, 51, and slightly lighter in the treble, which is exactly right. Now we'll also be making some refinements, like that damper's slightly slower than the rest. If you try that, that's this one here. So that needs correcting. So just marking on there anything that needs doing. In fact, when we sell a piano, we also encourage the clients to print out something similar to this. So if there is any voicing you think it's slightly bright or not as bright as you'd like, but we try and get them perfect in the shop, obviously. And that can be the same with new pianos, by the way. So those are two a little bit on the bright side, we'll be voicing them down. It's because it's been refaced and then there's a slight bit of voicing to do. So let's compare with some other pianos. Here's the new Feurich 179, slightly longer piano, so has a generally bigger sound, the soundboard's bigger. This is the next smallest piano we've got. It's a 190cm Bluthner, with fully restored Bluthner. So this is a Grotrian 160 made in 1926, and really one of our favourite makes, and they certainly make a wonderful grand piano. And the small grand piano obviously isn't the same tone as a larger one, as you'll have heard from listening to comparison with the others, but it's a delight to play. The tone both in the treble and the tenor. I believe surpasses the tone of a modern piano, definitely. The 30s grand pianos, the small grand pianos made in the 30s are really the best, I believe. Sorry, this is 20s, not 30s, but from about 1920 to 1939, really. Grotrian apparently made about 3,000 grand pianos in 1926, and then the number went down as the Depression came in. 1930 made a lot less, but England was still buying them, so in fact a reasonable number came to the UK that were made after that. The touch is slightly light, and if you want a light touch you can certainly leave it like that, but normally what we do is set them evenly round about 47 to 52, slightly heavier in the bass and then just tapering to slightly lighter in the treble. Such a clarity of tone. I could play this piano all day, and I do need to practice a bit to try and maintain a standard, and I would love to practice on this piano. If you're interested, please do write to info@robertspianos.com and let us know what you'd like to do. Thank you very much for listening.